Hey there, podcast listeners. Exciting news. My new audiobook, The Short Book Formula, a financial professional's guide to writing a book in 6 weeks to attract ideal clients, is out now. And the best part, for a limited time, we're offering this audiobook to you for free. Hurry over to www.theshortbookformula.com and claim your copy now. And now, on to our show. Hello, Paul. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
We've been working together for the past roughly 6 weeks or so in writing your new book, The Wealth Builder. I think we're probably a few weeks away from getting it published. And I'd love just to have you take us back. We worked together a little bit 4 or 5 years ago, and then we did different things. But just recently, you decided to engage in our services and hire us to help you write and publish your book. Now, I guess my first question for you is, what got you at this point to decide that it was time to write a book?
To breach new horizons, I guess you might say. But I just kind of thought, it'd be good to have this down in black and white. Some of my experiences in this business, once you've been at something as long as I've been at it, it'd be good to just put something in print, to write a book about it, to share your personal experiences and your thoughts, the impact that you have from dealing with people. When I first got into business, it was a matter of surviving, sell a policy, get a commission, and look for another client. But as time went by and I had significant personal experiences with clients, I just began to realize there's a lot of value that I can bring to the table. The value wasn't just on my side. And I began to appreciate more about what I could do for people. Yeah. So writing a book, I think, would give me an opportunity to share that with others.
What are you most excited about doing once the book is published?
Well, hopefully having a lot of people read it. I think that would be the most beneficial thing at this point. But get excited about the content of it. It's not very technical. I don't mean for it to be. I'm just trying to communicate in the book the value of certain financial instruments that people can benefit from. And hopefully people will read it, take action, try to create results for themselves, share that with maybe family members or a brother or a coworker, and be able to use these individuals. I don't say use, that's degrading, I suppose, to a degree, but to benefit from individuals who read the book and for them to share with others what they got out of it.
A lot of financial books, for better or worse, are fairly dry and somewhat challenging to read. Your book, I would like to say, and I think you agree, is highly readable, entertaining, filled with stories, and makes the point and points that you want to get across. Share from your perspective, how is it different from what you've maybe done in the past?
Well, I haven't handed the book out to anybody yet, but I do know that when I've handed other books out, I think the word I came up with in the past was a feeling of diminishment. I'm handing out somebody else's book, and almost, at least I would read an expression of the person I handed the book to. Where's your book? This is not your book. How come you didn't write a book? I mean, I just, and over time, after handing out a lot of books, I began to really feel like I need a book. It doesn't have to be as technical maybe as the one I was handing out, or because there was a lot of charts and numbers and stuff to put you to sleep with. And so I wanted to do something different and have Paul H. Cook on the inside cover or on the outside cover, my own.
Now, this process that you've now come through is, I would describe it as collaborative. What was your biggest fear or worry prior to getting started? And now that we're almost done, how do you feel today about the process?
Initially, I felt like there's no way I can come up with enough information to write a book. I want to write one. That was the most challenging thing. But I got to tell you, with your help and assistance and aid, and I think the value of a lot of our relationship has been you asking me questions and making me think. Oh. And I would think about a story, and then I'd get through with that one. I think about another situation, not all of them positive, not all of them good. Some of them had not good endings, but they were stories, and they were things that I experienced in my career that I thought would bring value to the book as well.
One of the things a lot of people do is they we want to hire a ghostwriter, because they're not a writer, and they feel if they hire a ghostwriter, then they'll have a book. And I've done that with people before, but I've also found that if the person, the author, is not heavily involved in the process, then they're not excited or really invested in the actual book itself. And so it doesn't really serve them that well once it's published, because it's just something that they didn't have a personal investment in. And so through our process, with essentially you talking out the book through 6 Zoom sessions, we then took that, wrote the first draft for you. We gave it back to you, gave you an opportunity to edit it, to change, add whatever you saw fit. Going through that, how well does it represent your beliefs?
Spot on. Spot on. Some of the terminology I adjusted because some things I'd say, well, I don't know that I'd say that. So I would put in my own dialogue, so to speak. But the more I read, the more it created excitement on my part, because the more I read it, I would say, oh, that's absolutely, that's true. That's me. That's the way I feel. That's the way I think about this area that we're writing about. So I felt very comfortable with it. I felt excited about it. I kept having a feeling that I was glad I was doing this. I did not in this process come to any point where I thought this was a mistake. I never felt that. And I feel good about the results of it as well.
Has it impacted your feelings or your strategy? So from what you hired us for and what we've done is help you write a book. And I find that there's a lot of ancillary benefits to the process. For many people, it's getting more clear about your own beliefs, as I think you just articulated. The other thing is, I think it helps people get clear about their overall marketing strategy. Has going through this process helped you clarify what your marketing strategy is going forward?
I think the thing that we look for in this business is comfort. We don't like doing things we don't like doing. Sometimes meeting new people can be difficult for individuals. I don't have that problem. Whenever I've had a team where I've worked with another agent, my job and my role was very typically to bring him to the table and sit down with somebody that I've met or, that I've introduced myself to. I think with the book, there is a third entity there when you walk up or when you meet somebody, either for the first time or somebody that you've not done business with. You can walk up to them and that third entity is there. It's the book. Okay. I'm giving you a book you can read in less than an hour. I mean, how easy can the conversation? It can't be any easier than that. And I would think it would enhance your comfort level. This is my perspective, enhance my comfort level, enhance my confidence in being able to do that. And I'm really looking forward to doing that and see what happens. I'm excited. Like I said, I've been in this business a long, long time, 51 years, actually, the 1st of March of this year. I mean, some people don't even live that long, much less work at a job this long. But I'm still excited about it. I get out of bed early in the morning. I had a 7:30 appointment this morning in here, and this book excites me even more. So I feel the Lord's blessed me with good health to a very well degree, and so I'm excited. I'm excited about the book and excited about what it'll be able to do for myself and for others.
Just before publishing, one of the things I've asked you to do is to go and some of your best clients and people in your life and ask them to give it a review, read it, ideally give you some positive feedback that we can then put into the book to further create social proof, for lack of a better word. You were just telling me earlier a story about one such encounter. Can you expand upon that?
Well, this morning I had a doctor's appointment with my family practice guy and my semi-annual. And I've been sending him an email. I told him, I said, we need to sit down and talk and, just have a conversation. You like coffee? Oh, yeah, I like it. So I said, well, you drink a cup of coffee with me and it'll be free. I'll provide it. So he walked in the little cubby room that they put you in. He said, I'm supposed to get together with you. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. I am in the process of writing a book. He said, you are? He shocked. And I said, yes. And I said, I would like, before it goes to publication, I would like to have several people read it and share some thoughts about the content of the book and what they think of it. I'd like to send a copy of it to you. He said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. I'd be happy to. So I felt good about his enthusiasm for it, at least. Then there were several other clients I had, too, that I contacted. And they said, yeah, send it over.
For someone watching this and they're, on the fence, A, should I write a book? And B, should I work with Paul to write that book? Final thoughts, what advice would you give them?
I would think the advice I could give would be to pursue it. Pursue it. We may all have certain strategies in which we work in this business in creating clients and acquiring clients, but this is another area in your quiver. This is another way to benefit other individuals. And I think it's something that shows concern and care, and you're serious about what you're doing. I'm so serious about what I'm doing. I've written a book about it. I've incurred the expense of writing the book about it. So I think it lends credibility to you. I think you instantly have credibility. One of the things that amazes me about people who advertise, people have an advertisement and somebody said, well, yeah, come on in. I saw your ad. Well, that ad doesn't give credibility. What's that ad do? That ad just means you spend a little money, put your face in a paper, and there it is. I find that amazing. But if you've written a book, you show concern, I think, and you show certainly knowledge about what you're doing. And I think, again, as I said earlier, I think it's really easy to approach people. If you've got something to give them, it doesn't cost them a dime. It's a gift.
Perfect. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.